As a dermatologist who has a real passion for treating acne, I'm really taken with how many videos there are on social of people talking about stuff that didn't work for them. Obviously, the people who are unhappy are going to be louder than the people who are happy with their treatment, but I just wanted to share with you some of the most common reasons I found in my practice that acne treatments don't work for people. Number one, it could be that people are undertreated. Quite often, people will come to me after having tried some OTC meds like Differin or benzoyl peroxide, and they tell me I've been trying for years, I've tried everything, but nothing worked. And what I end up finding out is that they've been trying one thing at a time. Quite often, acne needs multiple treatments at once. It is a multifactorial disease, and there's various different triggers and contributing factors, so we need to address several, if not all of them at once. That takes more than one agent usually. Something else that I commonly see is that people will not stick with something for long enough. So I always say to give my patients realistic expectations, you should give a treatment plan 6 weeks to start to see an effect. Think about that. Not 6 weeks for full results, 6 weeks to start to see results. That's for various reasons. These different therapies that we use take a while to work, and then after that, the skin basically needs time to refresh and clear itself. Also, acne is not a process where you just see everything on the surface. Quite often, you have comedones that are forming that are going to become pimples later on. So, trying something for like a week and then deciding that it doesn't work and moving on to the next thing is not really productive. And I think that people's expectations usually just need to be managed. And I understand why people move so quickly from treatment to treatment and try a bunch of different things. It's because acne is very distressing. You want it to go away quickly, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to lock in and trust the process. Another thing that I see sometimes is that people don't really know how to use their treatments. Sometimes they've been to other providers, they've been prescribed certain things, but just because of the amount of time that those providers have with the patient, they really can't go through the appropriate use of everything. For instance, retinoids like tretinoin, adapalene, they're not meant to be used just on areas where somebody's breaking out. They should be used all over the face consistently, even when there's no active pimples there, because the majority of the way that they work is by keeping acne from forming. So a lot of people don't realize that if it's not fully explained to them. They use it as a spot treatment, and things like that exist for other treatments too. Common misconceptions. Another thing with retinoids is that we know about the retinization process. It is, for some people, pretty difficult to start a retinoid because of the potential for irritation, flaking, redness. You need counseling about how to get through that. Unfortunately, here in the US, our healthcare system doesn't really allow providers that much time to talk with their patients, but that's something that I always counsel on. If any providers are watching, a good way to do this is to give people a handout with instructions about how to start retinoids. It's usually pretty easy to make. That way, you get handed to them, run through it really quickly, but have more detailed information there for the patient to read, refer back to if they forget what you said. Another common thing that I see is people who are just like, oh, nothing works for me. Have you tried everything? I think a lot of times people get discouraged because they'll hear stories of people who say, like, I was put on tretinoin and that cleared my acne. If it doesn't work for you, you feel like, okay, is anything gonna work? Same thing with interventions like spironolactone, which a lot of people say is like the silver bullet for them. It totally works. But for some people, that's not the case. I think we all need to realize, including providers, that like nothing has a 100% success rate. So nothing will work for everyone. Because of that, some people require different treatments. I know quite often people think of going on isotretinoin, aka Accutane, as kind of this last resort. I hate that conception of that medication just because I don't think it's a last resort. I think it's something that should be used more often than it is. And for some people, even that doesn't work on the first go around. I think all this to say that it takes a lot of counseling, a lot of time, attention, and also like a lot of patience on everybody's part. Drop some questions in the comments and I'll see if I could make more videos like this.